Whoa! Hey, I'm John Bollinger with Premier Guitar. I'm here with Rich Meyer of Highly Suspect. Rich, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me.
God, I tell you, there is so much bottom end rolling off the stage. I felt a little nauseous for a minute. It's like, that's a lot of air you're moving, man.
I like to use 2 amps.
Yeah, okay. Let's actually, you know, what the hell? We usually start with the bass, but I want to hear about the 2 amp thing.
Okay.
'Cause what am I feeling?
I think that's what it is. I think it's because I have 2 completely different amps.
Yeah.
You have like a wider range of sound than if it was just one.
Right.
Like if I had like 2 bass cabinets that were the same, it'd be a smaller sound.
Sure.
Than if I have an 810 cabinet, and I also have a 212 guitar amp.
Oh, great. Well, okay, let's start with the orange. So, so that's the 8200.
8200, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So have you changed it all or modded it all?
Yeah, I put the Russian tubes in it.
Huh. And could you really hear a difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just can't beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They stopped making them a while ago too, so they're kind of getting harder to find.
Oh. Is that the Solftech tubes or?
I don't even know how to say the name.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe we'll get that for the written copy.
Yeah, I could get it for you guys.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? We'll do that. It'll be. We'll write this down. So okay, cool. And running through, and the orange cab is 810. 810s. Yeah. And you're running that in a combination with. Is that just a Fender Blues?
Yeah, it's
DeVille?
a DeVille 212 hot rod.
Wow.
It's not modded. That one's stock. Yeah.
Okay, so how did you get? What was the thought process that got you there?
We've been a 3-piece for a long time.
Right. Back in the day, it was just the three.
It was just the 3 of us for a
long
long time.
Cover so much ground.
Yeah. So a lot of times, like we would be like jamming out or whatever, and there wasn't any singing happening, and Johnny wasn't playing rhythm. He was just like doing lead stuff or whatever. And I wanted something to emulate a rhythm guitar.
Yeah.
So I just I got a. Do you want to talk about pedals?
Well, actually, let's. I kind of want to talk about that bass because you made it. Well, we're going to cover the pedals too. Don't worry, we'll get to those. But okay, I like the amp thing. Let's talk about the bass. You actually built this.
Yeah. Yes. It's a Tele bass, and I got the Leo Kwan Badass Bridge for it, and a friend of mine makes this Gibson style mudbucker pickup, which I love.
Yeah,
it's just awesome. And this is my signature headstock, or one of them anyway.
Oh, great!
With our slogan on there, MCID.
Okay, what does that stand for?
My crew is dope. We've been using that for a long time. Like a lot of our merch has it on there, and the new album is actually titled MCID.
Does that go all the way back to Cape Cod? Is that a?
Yeah, it does.
It sounds very Cape Cod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, oh, why do we have to use the word dope? But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
That's the thing with branding. You're kind of married to it. You know? You kind of like are taking a step backwards if you go changing things.
Because you were probably a very different person when you guys came up with that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like...
We used to say dope all the time.
Yeah.
I don't really anymore. But it has the same meaning.
Sure.
You know, it's not like it doesn't mean the correct thing. It's just, it is what it is.
That's cool. Okay, so the body of this, what kind of wood?
It's a Tele. Oh, okay. It's this is swamp ash.
Oh, cool.
And you can kind of see it's swamp ash because of all of the grain and everything.
Yeah.
Like normally, like if you use like say if I used an alder body, like you wouldn't see as much of the grain. I don't like to use grain filler when I do the finish.
So did you actually cut this thing out of wood?
No, I bought this.
Bought the body.
Bought the body. Yeah, I did this. This was before I was building the body.
Okay.
This was like I started building guitars like maybe 3 years ago.
Oh, cool.
And I just started doing the whole thing like this year.
Oh, really? Wow.
So this was one of the first ones that I did.
Yeah.
I cut the headstock.
Yeah.
And I did the finish and everything.
Yeah, love the finish.
But thanks. Yeah, it's kind of fun. We were going for like a blood orange.
God.
So you can see like that's the peel, and this is like the inside, and that's the pulp.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. I love it. Yeah. Okay. So made the bass, and this is your number one.
I use this for most everything. Yeah.
Have a backup, but this is the.
Yeah, this is the main bass. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Well, now actually that's a cool segue into, let's talk about your pedal board.
Okay.
So you run a 1/4 inch into your tuner, the Boss.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I like to use the Aguilar tone hammer. It sounds really great, but it's kind of horrible as a DI box because it just sends the signal that it sends to the front of house is just way too hot. So I don't use the DI output from it, but what I do is after the signal gets heated up, I put it into the Sans amp, and then it gets split. You have a parallel split on the Sans amp, which is why it's so great. So that way I can split the signal without reducing the dBs or whatever. I don't know. Like if you just use a passive splitter, the sound is like half the size. It's like a lot smaller.
So you send a XLR out to the front of house from the Sans amp.
I always like to have a clean DI going to the front of the house.
Sure. And he can blend it with your amps.
Yeah.
Okay. So from the Sans amp, what are you running into next?
So it gets split and it goes into my bass amp chain, which is the Boss driver, BB1X or whatever. Yeah. Which sounds really great, and that's like kind of like the basalt sound.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's like what we use for basalts.
Yeah.
And then I like to use the Dunes, the Earthquakers Devices Dunes pedal for like a more like punk rock kind of sound.
Okay, and when you're playing to the pick, that's a good point. What picks are you using?
I like to use yellow. I think it's 7 millimeters.
The Dunlop Tortex, is it? Or
these aren't Dunlop. We actually have a signature.
Oh.
This one, it says Intune GP Grip X.
Okay.
I don't know. A company that was interested in making our signature.
Okay,
picks.
Cool. We'll write that down too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get the full details. Okay. So cool. So show me that next pedal.
Okay. This is the Dunes.
God,
that's really fun. I like that pedal a lot.
Like an angry god. Okay, and then from there, where do you go?
All right, so those are the two pedals that I use for the bass amp, and then I've got this AB box. So this is kind of like I can turn off the bass amp if I want and only have DI, or I can turn the bass amp on and then have the guitar amp.
Wow.
Which is Earthquaker Devices, Dunes.
Okay.
And then I also use the Tentacle, which is like oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Their Earthquaker Devices Bose is what I use for the drive sound.
Yeah.
So here's the drive sound coming through the amplifier. And then I combine that with the Octaver Tentacle pedal.
Okay. Is that, I can hear your voice through that pickup.
Yeah.
Is it just super microphonic?
Yeah, this pickup is really crazy. It weighs a lot. It weighs like 2 pounds.
Oh, really?
It's like a big chunk of steel, and it's so much louder than any other pickup I've ever used.
In the studio, you don't even need to talk back. You can just talk into your bass.
Yeah, I suppose I could. Yeah. Yep.
That's great, man.
Honestly, like engineers don't even really like this pickup.
Yeah.
A lot of times I work with engineers and like, oh, this thing is just too much. Can you like use a P bass or something?
You're like, no.
It's just easier for them to work with.
You're like, no, make this work.
No, a lot of times I do, but I like on the new album, like for Snow White, I had to use this because it's such a bass-driven song. I wanted to have this sound in there. But no, for the most part though, I actually do fully understand how like in the studio it's just easier to work with something that's a little bit tamer.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. Well,
you can do more with it.
The bandwidth is just so large that they have to shave off a lot. But man, to feel it in a room.
Yeah, in a live scenario, it's just so great. It almost has like a sub.
Yeah.
It's almost like there's like different octaves coming out of it.
Well, I mean, in a three-piece, the bass player is doing such heavy lifting because you're covering it all.
Yeah,
so.
A lot, covering a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so let's hear that octaver.
Yeah, so I'll show you what it sounds like just from the guitar amp.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the guitar amp, and then we add the bows, and then you octave it. And then you combine it with the bass amp. See how much bigger it sounds?
Yeah. Oh, it's big.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, it's big, Rich. Yeah, that's killer, man. And okay, this has nothing to do with gear, but your video, Lydia, is so one of the most like uncomfortable, beautiful. Is that one shot?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys have to watch this. It's one shot of this girl underwater the entire time.
And she can hold her breath for way longer than that too.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she can go for like 10 minutes.
I thought there's like a scuba guy.
There were.
Standing by with like an air thing.
Yeah.
So whenever you pan away, is that how you did it? Like when they pan away, they give her
she
air?
was like in the water for like a long time while we were shooting it, because we did it a few times. And instead of her having to surface, because it was a really deep pool, they would just bring her air.
Yeah, okay.
You know? But like, she can hold her breath for way longer than that song.
Man, when I was watching this video, when it first came out, and I was thinking, oh my God, I can't breathe. And right when I thought that, the lyrics are, I can't fucking breathe.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was like one of those perfect artistic moments where.
Well, thanks for picking up on that.
Yeah. Oh
That's
God,
cool.
I don't know. It made me so uncomfortable. No wonder it was a huge hit. Yeah. Got you to the Grammys. Yeah, first time, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, that's a big deal. All right, man. Well, hey, I think we're gonna talk to Johnny about some guitar stuff.
Okay.
But you actually built the guitars, right?
Yeah.
I kind of want to get your take on it too. Is that cool?
Yeah.
I know he's gonna want to talk about it, but these are. So you like cut this thing out of wood?
No, that's another guitar that I bought. That's just a Strat body.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I want to hear about.
Okay. So I was playing a show in Peoria, and this kid brought a pit card up to me and he wanted me to sign it, and it had like stickers all over it, and I was like, "Whoa, man, this looks really cool! Like the way you did it, it's like great. Like, is it something you do like for other people or whatever?" And he was like, "No, I just did it for myself." And I asked him if he was interested in doing any kind of like cross branding, but he wasn't really into that. He was just kind of like he's just kind of an artist or whatever. Yeah. So I asked him if he would do one for me, and he was like all about it. So I sent him the Strat pick card, and then he put all this together.
I love that.
And
so did you give him any direction or just say go?
I just said, yeah. Well, he's a fan of the band, and so he's pretty familiar with like all the lyrics and everything.
References,
and he just kind of wanted to. I was like, do whatever you think is the right vibe, and I think it came out great.
Yeah.
And then so I configured the rest of the coloration to sort of match.
Sure.
And I like the green. So
what did you do for pickups on it?
So this is a Highly Suspect Signature Series humbucker that a friend of mine who's based in New Hampshire makes them himself. He hand winds them. Huh. It's called Stonewall Pickups.
Is he the guy that made the bass amp or bass?
He makes all my pickups. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that one as hot as your mudbucker?
It is. This thing is awesome. Yeah. He wires them to pick up lower frequency strings. Huh. So like it has kind of a bassier sound than most humbuckers do, which really works for us.
Yeah, sure.
And then of course this hand wound, which has you're covering a lot more bandwidth when you have inconsistencies in the wiring. When it's machine wound, usually it's a little bit too perfect, and then you have some frequencies that kind of phase each other out because it's too consistent.
Oh, that's an interesting look at it.
Hand wound makes a big difference. And then I reload to the neck to kind of match the body.
Did he do those two as well?
Yeah. He just kind of made these two to complement this one.
Is there a big disparity in volume, or are they close enough?
No, like Johnny uses this one a lot, and it's definitely a Strat sound.
Yeah.
But it's the same volume as this one.
Great.
Yeah, it lines up pretty good.
Great. And what wood are you using on this?
This one's alder. The only alteration I do to the body is I like to give this contour to the heel.
That's a good.
And I don't like to use a plate. I just like to put the these neck furls in place.
With the 3-bolt. Interesting.
Yeah. Yep. And this neck is a Warmoth neck.
Okay.
I think they make really great stuff. They can like adjust the truss rod right here instead of having to take the thing off, which is great.
That's cool.
Yeah, really stable, great feel. I like to use a matte finish when I'm doing the lacquer on the neck because it's a little bit less sticky.
Do you have like a booth and a gun, or you?
Yeah.
How cool.
Yeah, I've got a garage in Venice, and that's why it says Venice on it, because that's where I made it.
Yeah.
Venice, Los Angeles.
Yeah, great.
But yeah, this is Johnny's guitar, and if he's around later, I'm sure he'll talk to you some more about it.
Okay, great.
But yeah, collaboration with a fan.
Oh yeah, that's very cool. Okay, well, man.
Let me show you one more.
Oh yeah, good. That's I had hoped. Oh yeah, so when we walked up, Rich was actually super gluing this thing together. Yeah. I'm not kidding. Yeah. God, I love that, man.
This is a prototype, so it's the first one like this that I've ever made.
So did you cut this?
Yeah,
one out?
yeah, I
Okay.
made this from a block of wood.
What wood did you choose?
This one is swamp ash.
Cool.
The neck is roasted maple, and it's the same pickup as the one that's in Johnny's guitar. It's just got a different cover on it. And this is a lipstick pickup, which is a single coil. It's got a little bit of a thicker sound, but it's pretty similar to the Strat.
Okay, cool. I want to see this is stacked right there. So
we've got stacked volume. Like this is the volume for the lipstick, and this is the volume for the bridge.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And this is the master tone. We just have a 3-way switch here, like a Tele style switch.
Yeah. Wow.
So I designed this guitar while we were making the latest album in Brooklyn. I haven't quite figured out what to name it yet, but I'm putting MCID on the headstock.
Cool.
Because it's like a totally original guitar, and I wanted it to have something unique, so that it wasn't just like a Fender mod.
Sure.
It's totally
absolutely
original.
Okay, so in the comments, come up with some names, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are inspired by any of like the shapes you see or the coloration or whatever.
Yeah. We can't promise he's going to use any of these names, but
yeah, you never know.
Maybe. He used the fans' pickguard ideas, so.
It's inspired by the Strat shape, It's got a little bit of a Strat thing happening, but it's clearly very different.
To me, it's got that great kind of that late 50s, early 60s spaceman aesthetic,
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Yeah, it's really great. And what do you use for this?
This is just, so like, there's a few companies that like sell pickup material on Amazon.
Huh, and you just cut it out? Like...
I just bought a blank piece from Amazon and I cut it out from that.
And did you actually make the neck as well?
No, I buy the neck from Warmoth. I don't have the machinery to make this. I just do the headstock.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So it's just a stock neck.
Beautiful.
And the roasted maple was kind of an experiment. I think I'm gonna stick with regular maple in the future, but it does look nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And it's very stable. But I don't know. There's something about the roasting that like eats up the tone. I think it just kind of like. It takes all the juice out of the wood and kind of It's a little too dry, I think.
It does literally take all the juice out of the wood.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Which is cool for stability, but I just don't think it's a natural enough sound. So going back to maple. But yeah, so far it's been a really great prototype.
Yeah, what a cool art project. I love that. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay, man. Well, congrats. Love it.
Thanks.
Cheers. Hey, I'm with Johnny Stevens of Highly Suspect. Johnny, thanks for joining us.
Of course.
Hey, man, tell me about this guitar. Now, you used to be a Fender guy, right?
I was a Fender guy,
Yeah.
for a number of years.
Yeah.
And nothing against it, but my bass player, Rich, happens to make the best guitars in the world. So.
You can't beat an endorsement like that. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, he told us about the whole art project, but that's
Yeah,
too
the pick
cool.
art actually came from a fan, which is pretty cool. That
Yeah.
sent them. We were like, yeah, it actually reminds me of like the guitar I had in high school, and just,
Right.
And then, yeah, it's a Venice guitar. It's basically as stratty as you can get without it actually being. But I don't know, for whatever reason, I feel like the neck on this thing. Like he takes a few months on each guitar, and it's just.
Yeah.
So this is the one guitar the only guitar I use now.
Yeah,
I literally only use this guitar. I used to
said
switch like 8 different guitars.
That's it. That's great.
So I don't throw it anymore.
Yeah.
I gently place it down
Yeah.
when I'm done
Right.
with it.
Right.
that.
And so run through a handful of pedals.
Yeah, I'm actually trying out some new pedals right now.
What do you got going on?
I've got the Caverns, which is from this newer company, and that's like really cool.
Oh yeah, sure.
Eventide makes this H9 pedal, and I only use it for one effect. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
It's my seagulls.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
And that's the secret to Wolf.
Yeah,
That's the,
okay, that's great.
That's the magic behind that. And then, basic blues driver, a D&M drive, and the super shifter is how I get my Tom Morello squeals without using the phase shifter.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a really old school pedal, and you can't, it's like hard to find. So I've Amazoned a couple. If anybody ever finds super shifters and they want to send them to me, I'd
Yeah.
be grateful.
Okay, put that in the comment section. And then running into, is that a Supro Thunderbolt?
That is exactly what it is, yeah.
Great.
It's modeled after the 65 issue.
Very cool.
And I run it side by side with the Fender, literally equal volumes, because the Fender has a very clean tone and very smooth and some reverb, and then the Supro's got that crunch. And when you blend them together,
Yeah.
now you know my secrets.
Johnny, I know you've got stuff, but man, thanks for taking a minute to
Of course.
talk to us. Till next time.